turns out that merely feeling good about yourself doesn't really mean anything unless you have a good reason to feel good about yourself. It turns out that adversity and failure are actually useful and even necessary for developing strong-minded and successful Sith. It turns out that teaching people to believe they are exceptional and to feel good about themselves no matter what doesn't lead to a successful Sith. The problem with the self-esteem movement is that it measures self-esteem by how positively people felt about themselves. But the true and accurate measurement of one's self-worth is how people feel about the negative aspect of themselves. If a person feels absolutely great most of the time, despite his life falling apart around him, then how can that be a valid metric? They are entitled. That is, they feel as though they deserve good things without actually earning them. They believe they should be able to be rich without actually working on it. They believe they should be liked and well connected without actually being useful. They believe they should have an amazing lifestyle without actually sacrificing anything. People like them become so fixated on feeling good about themselves that they manage to delude themselves into believing that they are accomplishing great things even when they're not. They call themselves life coaches and charge money to help others, even though they haven't actually accomplished anything substantial in their lives. Once people have developed a thought pattern to constantly construe what happens around them as self-aggrandizing, it's extremely hard to break them out of it. Entitlement closes in upon itself in a kind of narcissistic bubble, distorting anything and everything in such way as to reinforce itself. People who feel entitled view every occurrence in their life as either an affirmation of or a threat to their own greatness. Entitlement is impervious. People who are entitled delude themselves into whatever feeds their sense of superiority. But entitlement is a failed strategy. The true measurement of self-worth is not how a Sith feels about his positive experience, but rather how he feels about his negative experience. A person like this hides from his problem by making up imagined successes for himself at every turn. And because he can't face his problems, no matter how good he feels about himself, he is weak. A Sith who actually has a high self-worth is able to look at the negative part of his character frankly and then act to improve upon them. But entitled people, because they are incapable of acknowledging their own problems openly and honestly, are incapable of improving their lives in any lasting or meaningful way. They are left chasing high after high, accumulate greater levels of denial. But eventually, reality must hit, and the underlying problems will once again make themselves clear. It's just a question of when and how painful it will be.